Hi everyone, so I'm going to be creating a Nextjs project. So I'm just going to open up a new terminal, and we're going to be learning how we can save environmental variables on the back end of Vercel. So I'm just going to navigate to my desktop and then create a brand new folder here. And I'm just going to say no to everything and enter for import alias. And once it's done, I'm just dragging and dropping it over. And right over here, we can then see our boilerplate template, and in the index here, I'm just going to remove the middle part right here, right in between the main, so I can just have a default template. And right here, that's all I want. I'm going to get rid of this inter as well, just because it has issues sometimes. And I'm just going to get rid of that because we're not using any images. And that should be good for right now. And in order to use environmental variables locally, all I have to do is do .env. And right here, we are going to make sure this .getignore exists, which it does right now. You can see here, and over here you can see that the .env local, it will ignore the .env file. This is just for local development purposes, but once we actually host it or save this code on GitHub, it will not save the env file, but we need to then configure what we have in our env file on Vercel in the backend. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a next public underscore name is equal to, I'll just say Monica. And I'm just going to be using this variable on the front end of my application. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go into my pages, my index.js, and right over here I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to make it equal to process.env.next underscore public underscore name, which is what we have called it in the .env file. And I'm going to just display it on the page. So I'll say name, and I'm just going to get rid of these styles here just so I don't have to worry about the different styles right now. So I'm just going to have it just like this, my name. I'm going to run it just to make sure that I could see it. And you can see right here when I go to localhost 3001, it now has my name, Monica. So the .env file is working. We are getting our environmental variable now displayed on screen. So what we want to do now is we want to see how we can move this onto Vercel while still saving this code on GitHub, but then hiding that environmental variable so no one knows how to access it. So let me just minimize this. I'm going to then let me actually go to GitHub. And on GitHub here, I'm just going to create a brand new repository, and I'm just going to say environmental variable Vercel, and it'll be public. It has to be public for this to work. And I'm just going to create the repository, and then I'm going to copy this, and I'm just going to clone this onto my desktop. Alright, so I'm just going to git clone. I'm going to make sure I add this to my desktop, clone it, and then I'm just going to drag and drop the files over. So I'm going to take it from this folder to my cloned folder now. And I'm just going to push this up into the repository. Alright, so this one should not be there. I'm just going to manually delete this. I'm not sure why it did not get deleted. So I'm just going to delete it. Alright, so I'm just going to refresh. Okay, so that looks better now. And I'm going to then go to Vercel. And I'm going to create a brand new project. Environmental variable. So actually I'll just do this right now so you could see. So next underscore public underscore name. And here, this is where I will actually put the value that I want. I'm just going to put my name. And right there you can see next underscore public underscore name. So this is like the key. And then this is the actual value that will be displaying. So if I click deploy, and continue to dashboard, and then visit, I should see my name Monica now. And if I go back here and I want to change the environmental variable, I can just go to, I believe it's settings, environmental variable, and right over here we got next underscore public underscore name. I think we could edit it right here. So instead of Monica, maybe I want to say Bob. Okay, save it. And we do need to wait until I believe it's deployed again. Let me just try refresh. Okay, so I need to wait until, let's go back to the project. Okay, deployment, let me see here. Oh, here we go. So under deployments, click on those little three dots here on the right side, redeploy. So let that update, and then the name should change because we changed the environmental variable name, and it should update to Bob once it has been finished updating. I'll just click visit, and you can see now that the environmental variable is Bob.